So in this video, I'm working with Paxxy. So I'm going to take Paxxy through everything that we've been through so far. But this video is like an explainer, so that it's a bit different from the other video. In this video, you get more of the explanation so that you do things properly when you're practicing with him. So I'll start with the most basic thing. What is the best way to practice your dog's name recall? In other words, calling your dog to get a quick response. What is the best way to practice that? Well, it's always good to start from close proximity. So if I have my dog next to me, I can give him a treat, yes, just for being close to me, right? That enforces the idea that being close to you is the best place for him to be. So whenever he's away doing other things and then you call him, the urge to come close to you will be higher if that sinks in, okay? So if I move away from him, Paxxy, yes, I reward him for coming close to me. But if you notice, when I call his name, the moment he responds to the call, he hears the marker, yes, which is super important. So if he's right in front of me, it means you hear the marker the moment he makes the first step. Paxxy, yes, okay, good. And if he is looking away from me, let's say if he's looking in that direction for whatever reason, maybe there's a treat on the floor there, and I call him Paxxy, yes, the moment I mark is the moment he turns his attention to me. So if he's looking away, mark the moment he turns his attention to you. And if he's already looking at you, mark the moment he makes a first step towards you, okay? So that's the first level of it. And the next stage is now you begin to allow him to explore. And when he's doing his own thing and he's looking away from you and highly distracted, that's the moment you call. So you call him loud and clear once. Paxxy, yes. And then you mark the moment he responds. Now, if he hesitates to respond, that is totally fine. You just wait on him, just keep observing him. And if he makes any effort to look your way, mark, show him that you have a reward waiting for him to encourage him to come towards you, and then reward. This you can practice in an enclosed space that isn't too large. But if you are in a large space, you will need a long lead so that you can use that to usually limit him and urge him back towards you whenever you call, in order to help him, to make it easier on you and less stressful. But once you are in an enclosed space that isn't too large, you can just be a little patient whenever he's focusing on other things. And then if you've waited too long, you can say no. And then you can call him again. Paxxy, yes. And then mark and then reward. The more you do this, the more he will get used to being around you more. He will usually choose to stay close to you rather than go away. He could go to Shadow over there in the crates. He could go to Rocky over there. He could go around and sniff, whatever. But then he chooses to be here because he's had practice. And whenever your dog sticks by you, you're good. Awesome. Good boy. Very good. So here is the most important thing when communicating with your dog. Make sure there is a clear word that you use to mark all the right things that he does. And make sure there's a clear word that you use to mark all the wrong behaviors. For me, right behavior, I mark with yes. Wrong behavior, I mark with no. Now, you want to make sure every single time he is doing the right thing, especially at the foundation stage, he is hearing the marker, even if you didn't ask for the behavior. So this whole time I'm talking, he's here. I like that. So I can reward him for it. But before he gets the reward, he will hear yes, and then he gets the reward. It just conditions him to continue to be confident in the word yes. So he will continue to be here. Now, even if I don't have a reward on me and he's here, I can just mark yes, good boy. And he gets attention. Attention is a treat. He could even get cuddles. Yes, good boy. All of that is allowed. Okay, so when you don't have treats on you, you can always figure out a way to get excitement out of your dog or to get fulfillment out of your dog. And that serves as your treat and should always come after the marker, yes. All right, so when I call Paxxy towards me, I don't want Paxxy to be walking through my legs, okay? So the next note is very important. When you call your dog towards you, you want your dog to get used to what I like to call a default position. A default position for me that makes sense is for your dog to come and then sit in front of you and say, what's up? What do you want us to do? Okay, so how I help the dog to learn that is I use the hand as a guide. So Paxxy, yes. And look at that. Without saying a word, Paxxy ends up exactly where I want him to. Let's try something else. Paxxy. Yes. Okay, look at that. Without saying a word, again, he ends up exactly where I want him to. So now, explain. Whenever I call Paxxy, if you notice, Paxxy, yes, I use my hand to serve as a guide, and then I can use it to break him. I can use it to draw him closer. I can use it to draw him past me. I can use it to U-turn him, and I can get him to sit, yes, and reward, right? All of that is what is termed luring your dog. These things are very basic, but they are super important, and they help you in the long term. So he gets rewards from the hand all the time. So the hand has become a valuable asset. So even when there's nothing in it, it becomes a means to control him and move him in various ways. And you want to take advantage of that whilst he's learning stuff, so that when you need it the most, especially when he's older, you can use it to your advantage. Good boy. Good boy. You are too smart. There's no treat, so he's like, nah, I'm not going down. There's no treat in there, but there you are. Good. Very good. So there was no treat in my hand. Free. And we were able to do all of that because he sees the hand as a valuable tool. So you want to use that to your advantage and practice luring your dog. Always practice luring with a treat in your hand, and always start with something as simple as helping your dog to get a good default position. So when you call your dog, meet him halfway with the treat in hand. Paxxy, yes. So I meet him, and then I can keep him at this distance or bring him a bit closer, take the treat away from him towards my face, keeping my hand in the middle of my body, and it helps him to go into that position, especially if your dog passed through my hand. Because when I teach dogs to sit, that is the gesture that goes along with it. So they become so used to it that if I free him, free, yes, good boy, right? No matter how fast we move, as long as I do that, I'm going to get that result. Yes, very good. And it helps him to get used to this. So every time you call your dog, if you do this, you are training him to get used to this default position. So he would usually come and then just sit in front of you like a good boy, right? All right. Free. Yes. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, how I teach my dog to sit. So with Paxxy, I'm going to call him, and then I would always say sit as I take the treat away and reward, so that he remembers the gesture for the command, and then he also remembers the verbal cue. Because dogs actually learn better from watching than even listening. So they learn what they see before they learn what they hear. So you need to be consistent with your gesture. And as I said, for the sit gesture, when he gets here, I take my hand upwards towards my face, still keeping my hand in the middle of my body, right in the center the whole time, so that he's also right in the middle here. And I say sit, and when he sits, then I bring the treat back to him after I mark yes. Okay, so it's gonna look something like free. Yes, good. Good boy, good boy. Come here, good boy. It's gonna look like sit, yes, and then he gets the treat. Okay, that's simple. Good. And then when I free him, I will swing my hand to the side with a treat just low enough for him to be able to get it, and say free, yes, free, yes, good boy, very good. So sometimes he'll take just a step back to encourage him to move. The idea is I swing my hand to the side because free means take it and go. I want him to get that sense of passing me by, knowing he's free. He can do whatever he likes. But of course, if you practice your recall long enough, even though he's free, he will usually stick around you. Even if he's getting interested in other things, he will have one antenna alert for you all the time. And when you call, it will be easy to get him back to you. Awesome. So that's the gesture for sit. That's the gesture for free. And down. Yes. And that's the gesture for down. Okay. So when he's face to face, that's how it works. Free. The whole time you want to make sure that your hand is centered. So when you call him, you center your hand and guide him. Paxxy, yes. Let him come in front of you. Sit, yes. Down. Yes. Free, yes. Very good. Awesome. Very good, boy. Okay, he's a bit slow because I'm talking too much, but I have to explain. So that is how you practice whilst making sure that you are using consistent gestures for whatever it is you're teaching him to do. So now that we've worked on that, we're going to go to Down. Yes. What a proper down looks like and what a proper sit looks like. So with a proper down, no. Yes. So the first down was a proper down. This is an awkward down, okay? At the foundation level, this is okay. But then when you begin to advance things at an intermediate level, then you want to shape this to be prim and proper, okay? So I'll demonstrate that in this video. When you want to teach your dog to do a proper down, if he does an awkward one like this, for me, at that stage, I already know he knows the command. So I'll just say yes. And then I'll free him without giving him a treat. And I'll lower him back again and ask him to do it again. Down. Yes. Now he hears yes and he gets the treat because this is the proper down, as you can see. Very straight and very sharp. When he's in this down, it's easy to get him to a sit. Yes. Very good. And with the sit, the foundation is always to hold a treat above his head to encourage him because the down position is a very comfortable position. So you want to make sure that you have something to urge him from that level of comfort to get up into a sit simply by putting your hand above his head, right? So when you do that and he gets used to the behavior, then now you can try him without it to make sure he understands the verbal cue, even if he's comfortable, okay? So again, he's moved to an awkward down. So I'm going to free him free. Yes, good boy. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, good. And I'm going to let him do it again. So I'll first do the gesture and say down. No. So whenever I catch him in time, I'll say no. If I notice him doing that awkward thing, I'll say no. And then we'll start again. Come. Because it's always good to catch him in time. And then you can guide him again down. Yes, and it makes him easy to make the right choice the second time. Very good. So now I'll say sit. No, I didn't ask you to get up. Down. Yes, very good. So now I'm going to get him into the SIT position without raising the treat above his head. So I'll just say the command, sit. And only after I've waited a while and I don't get a result, then I'll help. Yes. Now, no reward this time, so we'll try again. Down. Yes, give him a reward for the down, just to remind him that it's still the same system. Good. All right, Paxxy, sit. Yes, very good. I was waiting longer and I almost gave in to try to help and he did it. Yes, very good. And then I'll free him. Free. Yes, good boy. Very good. Now this is very important. It needs to send a signal that he has done something right. Okay. Yes, good boy. Then we'll start again. We'll try another one. Yes, good boy. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Good. Down. Yes, good. Very good. He's going to get a reward for that one. Good. Sit. No. So he's put his head down. No. So now I'm going to help him. Yes. And then I'll ask him to do it down again. Down. No, 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 no. So I've caught him early enough. I would even let him go all the way. Bring him back again. Use the gesture to get him into a sit and say down. Yes. Good. Sit. So in a subtle way, I'm going to do that. Yes. And then reward, right? And then ask him to do it down again. Down. Yes. Reward for that. This time, just keep my hands behind me and ask him to do it. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Someone is learning. Yes. Good boy. Free. Yes. Good boy. Free him and praise. That's very important because that's the current challenge, right? Getting him to do that sit from the down without too much help. So when he gets it right, it's important to give him a lot of praise. Yes, give him a treat for just being a good, awesome guy. And then try again. Come here. Good. Sit. Yes. Good. Down. Yes, I'm going to reward for that. Good. Sit. Yes, very good. So as you can see, he's picking it up. Yes, very good. Free. Yes, very good. And you have to admit that the shape of his down and his sits are very sharp, very prim and proper, right? Sit. Yes. See? So I would encourage that, you know, when your dog comes home to you or when you're working with your dog and they do a sit like this, you correct them. Come. Let them do it again. Yes. And then you reward when it looks like this. Likewise with the down. Down. Yes. You reward when it looks like that. And then let's do a sit from it down. Sit. Yes. Reward when it looks like that. It seemed like he did it just before I asked him to. So let's do it again. Down. Yes. Good boy. Very good boy. Good boy. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Very good. And then now free. Free. Yes. Very good. Awesome. So that is basically, you know, covering all the basics in the foundation program, right? That is besides leash manners, walking and all that. I'll demonstrate that in a separate video. But for now, when we say sit and he sits like that, this is a display of impulse control. Him sitting and not getting up, going through my legs, but staying right there is a display of impulse control in terms of duration. So being able to sit for longer and longer durations is a very good indication of a certain level of progress when it comes to impulse control. Likewise, when he's in a down position and he stays down without getting up until you ask him to, is the same thing. Free. Yes, very good. And the most important command associated with impulse control exercises is free. So when I demonstrate how to practice impulse control in terms of duration and distance, free is going to come to play a lot. And it's important to use free so that your dog gets the sense that he's not going to be stuck in that position forever. So he's motivated to be focused. But if he feels like I'm just here, no one is minding me or anything, then he'll begin to be lackadaisical. He might lie down, he might get up and walk away, he might lie on his back and start to do awkward things. So it's important to always use a healthy interval to introduce him to that level of focus by freeing him every now and then, you know. Come, sit proper, down. Yes, this is better than before, right? No, down. No. So when he tries to get it wrong, that's how I correct at this stage. Down. Yes, very good. Okay. So he's down like that. Time is passing. This is all impulse control. No. Down. Yes, very good. And this is all teaching him, stay down, stay down, stay down. Be there. Wait for something. What are you waiting for? I'm either going to ask you to SIT or I'm going to free you. So just wait. And you shouldn't let him wait too long when you are building these things up. So I'm going to free him now. Free. Yes. Good boy. Yes. Awesome. Very good. Good boy. Very good. So I'll use Paxxy to demonstrate a bit of impulse control in terms of duration. So I'm going to call him. Paxxy, come. Sit. Yes. So when I say yes and I turn, I walk 2 steps and I turn and he's there. I say yes. And I come and I reward him for that. If I go that way and I turn and he's still there, I say yes. And I come and I reward him for that. If I go that way and I turn and he's still there, I say yes. And then I come back and reward him for that. And if I walk behind him and he gets up, I say no. Stop him in his tracks. Then I bring him back to the same spot, the same angle, lure him into the same position, and I say yes. And then I quickly repeat the exact same thing that I did before he broke free. Yes, mark when he doesn't, and then come and reward, and then now free him. Good, free. Yes, very good. And that is called the principle of correction. And that is where you begin to show your dog that just like his trainer, you are a leader, right? So every time we finish our foundation program and our pups go home, this is one of the exercises that we take the dog owners or dog daddies or mommies through so that they begin to practice with their dog and then help their dog to also see them as leaders with a sense of authority. So it's not just about using treats to encourage behavior, but demonstrating clearly that you understand how to correct properly. And once you do that and your dog sees that, they look at you just like their trainer. And they're like, whatever my trainer can do, he can do. So I'm going to respect them just like I respect my trainer. So the principle of correction is always make sure you mark the mistake quickly. So if I ask him to do a down. Okay, yes, but no reward because I want a better down. So come, we'll start again. I want a prim and proper down. Good, down. Yes, this is much better. So the idea is I'll intentionally do something that will most likely let him make a mistake and say no as soon as he does that. See, catch him in the act, say no, stop him in his tracks, then come back, lure him back with a gesture, don't talk. And say yes the moment he's back in position. And then you quickly do the same thing again. And it's important, no, to catch him in the act quickly, bring him back quickly with a lure. That's why all these things are important to practice. Luring your dog and using consistent gestures. Because when it's a mistake, I don't want to give the command again. I want him to clearly distinguish between the command and a mistake, right? And when I use the when I use the gesture and there's hesitation, there's always the backup of using the collar because he's been conditioned to leash pressure as well. Yes, and no. Yes, and then I'm going to do that thing again. And this time he stayed put. Yes, so I mark that and I come back the same way. I reward him and then I free him. Or yes, I do it a second time just to be sure. This time I can come back the other way. And then if I make it all the way here, yes, I reward him. And what do? I free him. Free. Yes, good boy. Very good. Awesome. So you see how the principle of correction works. Super, super, super important. And then this part is for you. So when you practice in scenarios where he's getting it, find scenarios where he might make a mistake. You know, deliberately try to, okay, if you're on the compound, see if you can step into your car whilst he still stays put. And when he doesn't, you correct him, bring him back to the same spot, and you repeat the same thing. And you can always start bit by bit. So if you're going to enter the car, don't just enter straight away. Start by just opening the door and looking at his reaction. If you open and he's like, oh, where is he going? He's going to leave me. He gets up. You quickly stop him, shut the door, come and correct him, go and open again. Until you do it, he stays put and you mark yes, just for that. Leave the door open, come and reward. And then the next step will be to go and sit inside, mark when he stays, come and reward, until you can go and shut the door and you can see through the windscreen that he's still there, or through the side window that he's still there. Mark, reward him, and then free him. So after that works, you find something else, find something else, find something else. That way you continue to send that message to him. And the bond continues to improve in terms of dog and leader, rather than dog and companion, or dog and friend, or dog and buddy. You know, which makes your dog see you like any other member of the pack, but rather dog and alpha. That's what you want. Good boy. Free. Yes. Very good.